too.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Matt. So, if you've joined us for the launch of the Life Learning Cloud, which is happening today, do make sure you've got one of our brochures, because inside it will give you an idea of the 5 very, very special things about the Life Learning Cloud that you just simply will not see anywhere else. So do make sure you've got a copy of that. I'm going to show you 1 or 2 of those things just now. So what you can see on the screen is the Life Learning Cloud. As Clayton logs on, he takes us up into the cloud where we can safely and purposefully join the learning community. So what we can see on the screen is our My Life in the top right hand side that travels with us wherever we go around the Life Learning Cloud. And in the central part of the screen we start seeing some of the learning cells and learning applications, hundreds of which you can find inside the brochure. At the bottom of the screen you'll also see the Life Bar, which is like a taskbar that travels with you wherever you go around the Life Learning Cloud, with alerts and things like the screen reader, concept symbols and SEALT report button that you can see just there. I'm going to show you just a couple of things, but if you'd like to see any of this in lots more detail, do grab one of the team and we'd be delighted to show you. So let's just have a quick look inside Discovery Primary School and we'll take ourselves off there in the Life Learning Cloud being launched today at the Bett show. So we're in the Discovery Primary School and you can see the imagery, the colouring, the styling of this is all unique to this particular school. So it's both about personalising learning for the individual and making that school a very special place for the learners within it. Some really exciting things you can see on the screen here are life tags. So to access Life you don't even need to worry about a URL. You can just zap that tag on your handheld device and all of a sudden you're safely into the Life Learning Cloud. Really powerful stuff. Let's break down those boundaries to learning that have traditionally been in place. You can see some really exciting Web 2 content coming through, the YouTube, the Twitter, the RSS feeds, things like that, making the most of what's out there on the web. Now critically, because we're bringing in web content, we want to make sure that our learners are safe, and so that's why you see that SEALT report button down there on the Life Bar at the bottom. We'll have a look at a couple of quick resources. I'd like to show you the water cycle learning activity, and this is really exciting. There's 2 parts to this. This is how we can distribute learning materials out to our learners, and this is how we can also assess them safely, easily and purposefully, saving all of us time and energy in all of the admin that goes along with the best job in the world, that is teaching. So you can see on the screen here it's all very learning focused. The vocabulary is about learning, because life, as you know, is about learning. You can also see on the left hand side people are using this activity. So as well as traditional online presence features like you're familiar with in MSN, we can see who's engaging with the learning. That's critical, isn't it? Who's engaging? And we've got critically our learner rating down here. So not only are we providing learning materials for our students, we're seeing what they think of those, their feedback. So listening to learners, making them the important people here. We've got a sequence of activities you can see here. Now these can be sequential and going from one to another, or they can branch you off in different directions. So if you get something, you go one route, you're struggling with something, you take a different route. That's really important. That's personalised learning. We'll have a look at some of those activities in a second, but I'd like to show you very briefly the assessment features. Just have a quick look at that. And you'll see here that what we then see is the learning activity that the student is taking part in on the left, and the assessment on the right hand side, and that could be levels, grades, percentages, scores, or it could be comments, targets, etc. And you've got some interesting things coming up here in relation to targets. We're drawing in where the student's at from their My Profile, their My Life, and pulling that in from MIS. So it's a one-stop shop for all the information you need for personal and purposeful learning. But let's just flick through these activities on the left. We're looking at Kerry's at the moment, a bit of a shining star, doing really well with her water cycle learning reflection. And as we move through, we see the different students work here and are able to assess that on the right hand side. But the really exciting thing, collaborative learning, and as all the teachers amongst you will know, that's one of the hardest things to assess, collaborative learning. So we've got a really cool group marking feature where we're able to flick between the different students' contributions and assess those in one central place, quick and easy to use. So I'm going to show you 2 final things before I hand over to Matt to share with you a bit more about the vision that's sitting behind this. Let's just come out of that and we shall very briefly nip over to Blue Sky Local Authority. And one of the really interesting things here is you notice that in Discovery Primary we had all these children in the background. We've got some beautiful images going on. And it's not just restricted to images. Here we've got some fun going on. So let's just pull off those learning cells using the height on the Life Bar. Now imagine this could be an image image, it could be film, it could be a game, it could be a mind map, it could be other kinds of content. So making a three-dimensional, multimodal learning experience. Let's slap those learning cells back on top. Let's finally go over to the My Life on the top right-hand side and look at my latest. Now, for those Twitterers amongst you, you might want to try and experiment with this. In your My Latest, it's your personal space where you access all the things that you need in one central place. We've got students who are familiar with features like Facebook in their everyday lives, and here we've got something along those lines about what we're learning today, our learning updates, but A, it's focused on learning, and B, it's safe and secure. So getting rid of all those scary bits of social networking and making this safe and purposeful. So let's add in. Today, we're showing off life is about learning. Now, the clever bit here is we stick a hashtag in front of life is about learning, and as you can see, we can also push that out to Twitter. So it's connecting this safe online learning space that is the Life Learning Cloud with all those familiar social networking tools beyond that. And you can see other things like integrated live edu email calendar, SkyDrive on the right-hand side. So let's just go and have a look at my site, and we can see that the learning update has come right on through. And for any of you that are following the hashtag Life is about learning on Twitter, have a look now and you'll see that come through there as well. Guys, I'm going to stop there for a moment. If you'd like a more detailed demonstration, do grab one of us in our charmingly coloured green t-shirts and we'll show you. But for the moment, I'd like to hand you over to our CEO, Matt Clark.
Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's a big one for us. We're launching this product for the first time. Fionn's given us a brief demo, giving us a bit of a snapshot of the functionality behind the product. It's a big, exciting process we've gone through over the last 18 months. I was given a remit 18 months ago to build the perfect learning platform. What I had to build on was 2.1 million users on our database at the moment, currently log onto our learning platform on a day-to-day basis. They access the learning platform 7.5 million visits per week. We have 4.5 million learning resources created every single term. 25,000 tasks are created in terms of assessment and homework being handed out and various other things. So we've got 10 years worth of pedigree building up the subscription base and the users and students within our platform. So there's a lot of usage that's gone into this thing. However, we threw away the remit to build a learning platform because this is a new world. You know, we're talking social networking, we're talking the cloud, we're talking choice, flexibility, dynamism. So creating a platform that effectively from the day it launches, which will be out of date, wouldn't be a sensible thing for us to do. So what we created was a simple learning cloud. So the learning cloud effectively has modules. It's a combination of both community, social networking, learning platforms, all that together with kind of modules and the App Store functionality built into it. So it gives us the flexibility and we don't have to stop building, we can carry on building further. But more importantly, our partners can carry on building. So the thing will keep evolving and evolving. So day one, we're kind of delivering a learning platform with about 25 for these little applications and modules built into the platform. But we've got a plan for about 350 by September. So we're going to keep moving the thing moving forward. And equally our partners. So the difficulty is, with lots of technologies happening in schools, how can we bring them together? How can we create an umbrella application that will enable one user to be able to log onto the system but incorporate lots of different technology into the same kind of platform? So like I said, we've got a great user base. What we want to try and do is build on that success. As I said, we've got 3,500 schools operating. There's across 28 local authorities in the UK alone. Combined with 23 countries, schools in the likes of Canberra in Australia, in New York, in Texas, means that we've got this great global community of assets and resources coming together. So actually, if we want to do a project on the rainforest, we can reach out to schools in Brunei and hook them up. So this is Learning Platforms Plus. This is next generation technology, and it's something that we're really excited about at Universality. So we'd like to take the time. What I'm going to do is just briefly hand back to Fiona to just say what it means from a classroom perspective. And please, if you need the demo, there's brochures. We're happy to do as many demos. There is a party at an unknown pub somewhere, which I know Dawn's going to talk about briefly after Fiona's finished. And I think we're going to do a big green convoy to the nearest pub after if anyone wants to join us. So I'm going to hand over to Fiona, and then Dawn, do you want to finish?
As a boss. Okay, so what I want you to do in a moment is make sure you've got a copy of the live brochure, because in it are 5 really exciting things that are really changing the very face of teaching and learning. Things like the Life learning exchange would mean rather than you having to create new resources for every lesson and session you're doing, you could just grab those from our life learning exchange. Things like our semantic learning engine would mean rather than having to go hunting for materials, they'll come to you. Life is able to work out what you need, when you need it, and bring that to you. What I'd like to do now is just hand over to Dawn, wherever she's gone, so that we can tell you all about some of the really exciting things that are happening this evening. Dawn? And do make sure you've got a copy of this brochure with these very, very exciting things in it.
I just wanted to say this afternoon we're joined by quite a large number of our teacher design group, and we just wanted to say a really big thank you to all the practicing teachers that have taken time out to help us build this product and get it to where it is. So hopefully you can come with us, join us over at the pub for a well-earned drink. We are just going across the road shortly, so if anybody wants to come across and join us, please feel free to follow everybody in a green t-shirt. Thank you very much.
I think we need some fireworks. Like I say, friends of the university, new customers, thanks for coming. We've got a firework display.